What is up, everybody? Welcome to Crunch Time. You know the drill. It's two of the sharpest minds in the industry. I'm going to take you, hopefully, up till lock. We got an hour almost, and we don't have all that many games, but we do have a lot of injury news, and I have heard from some RG pros that it is a pretty tasty slate. Kyle Murray in the house. Kyle, what's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Pretty small slate, but still an interesting one from a lot of injuries on the docket. Luka's going to miss this game. He just had his second kid, so congrats to Luka if he's out there watching. I know he's probably got some extra free time, so I'm sure he's tuned in. But yeah, should be a good slate.
We got Chop in the house as well. Chop, how are you, man?
Grinding, rocking, grinding away, man. It's a big day right here. It's just the way this shaped up. It's crazy. It's how ironic it is that me and Murray are on a slate right now when here in a couple hours, his Lions are going to kick off against my Cowboys and with the playoffs on the line. So there might be a lot of tension in the room between me and Murray here, man.
Maybe we get a bet going here. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what we can make happen. A fight to the death. We'll let it go. We'll see what happens here. We do have a few questions to ask. First off, that are unrelated to the slate. First off, did you see the Giannis injury, and is he full of shit?
Look, I mentioned it in the internal Slack. I was like, I don't want to be that guy, but I definitely had a tinfoil hat on last night, which I never want to be about an injury, especially one that's like calf and below in the NBA. And I did see a video of his last calf injury last year, 2 years ago, and it did look like somewhat similar reactions, but my first reaction was like, oh, I think he might be faking it, but yeah. I don't want. That's off the record. That is off the record.
Okay. At first I was like, did he tear his Achilles? And then I looked again. I was like, did he do nothing at all? I don't know. Chop, we want your insight on this as well. Was that a real injury, or was that a trade me now, I'm not playing for you injury?
Man, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't want to like make light of a guy if he really is hurt, but
right. But I'm making you. I'm forcing you.
Quite a coincidence. It's just quite a coincidence, and I don't know. I'm just. He's definitely done. He's definitely done playing with that team. He doesn't want to be there no more. So maybe this is his way of protecting his status and making sure he doesn't really get injured before the trend, and they're telling him, okay, and that's it. Had enough. Yeah. So get rid of me. So I don't want to, if he is really hurt, I apologize, Giannis, but I do got a feeling like that's more of a preemptive thing. Like, that's enough. I'm going to sit down now until you trade me.
Yeah, I feel like that is the general consensus on the show. That's kind of where I'm standing as well. Some people talking about where he may be going, but we got to dive in on this slate. Oh, also, Chop, you recommended a show. I think you and Dean, was it Shrinkage?
Shrinking, yeah. Shrinkage is Kyle Murray in the cold pool.
Yeah, it's great. I have been in a real rut. That's the first good show I've seen in a while. So, and it is not coming out once a week. It's all there. Highly recommend. It's on Apple TV. Shrinking, good stuff. It's like a little bit. It's kind of uplifting, even though it's a very negative kind of material, but it's very enjoyable. Anyways, hey, we're here to talk about the slate. We've got some games ongoing, not ongoing, but soon to come, and we've got this slate that we want to win a bunch of money doing. So let's dive into it. Kyle, you said off the top there's a lot of injury news. Can you give me a general breakdown of what we're waiting for, what's already happened, and then we'll start going position by position?
Yeah, I mean, for a 5-game slate, I would say there's a good amount. Obviously, for the Warriors, we have Steph and Jimmy Butler already out, and then we have a couple of guys still questionable there. Kuminga, Al Horford, questionable, and then in that same game, Paul George is out. Kelly Oubre obviously going to be out for a while. Joel Embiid, questionable, no surprise. For Jaylen Brown is out for this one. We have Alex Sarr out just before he went live. Yusuf Nurkic was ruled out, so doing some edits to the Jazz projections right now. And then Michael Porter Jr. out. He's been a massive producer, and I already talked about the Luka news. So, yeah, I would say pretty much every single game has at least one key player out, because even in that New Orleans game, we have Zion and Jordan Poole out. So, yeah, lots of key injury stuff for tonight.
Okay. Very good. Well, let's dive right into it. Chop, we like to start with DraftKings, and we like to start at point guard. What are you doing there?
Yeah, there's some definitely some options here in all kinds of price ranges. You're one of the highest projected point guard is going to be Tyrese Maxey or close to it, and deservedly so. But and he's fine. What the Warriors are not good on defense, and it's definitely a good matchup for him. But boy, you can save a whole lot of money and drop down to the next range of guys that I really like, which is a couple of Celtics, the Derek White and Peyton Pritchard should really get a boost tonight. And this is, I don't know if it's debatable or not, probably the worst defense all around in basketball. So you've got that going for you. And then you get to a similarly projected guy in a similar price range, which is Emmanuel Quickly, who I really like against the Lakers, who I think are defensively deprived also. So I do want to try to jam Quickly in there too. I'm running 3 point guards in my DraftKings lineup, maybe 4 if I get the multi-position eligibility the right way. But I like 3 of those guys. Those 3 guys I just mentioned: White, Pritchard, Quickly. I would round it out as my other guy with being Anthony Simons as a GPP play. Like I wouldn't trust him in cash. I don't think, but I don't play cash anyway.
Yeah.
But he's a 3-point sniper. If he gets it going, you're playing Washington. You got plenty of shots tonight at your disposal. Theoretically, should be a good game for Simons. You save a little money and you have a chance with upside if he's hitting his 3-pointer. So those are the main guys I'm interested in. And there's just because there's so much value up there. Like Derek White's underpriced, Pritchard's underpriced, and Simons is underpriced. It kind of drives me away from any of these other guys who are following, but I just don't have an interest in them.
Yeah, that's fair. Kyle, your thoughts and point?
Yeah, not too much different there. Obviously, Maxey kind of leads the way projection-wise. Tend to like Austin Reeves quite a bit in this spot as well. I think he might be shooting guard only on DraftKings though. So, but point guard Peyton Pritchard as well at 6'8". Chop mentioned Quickly. I think that's a really good call. His assist rate has been very much increased with RJ Barrett off the floor. And then you have some mid-tier / value guys. I would say Pods is kind of at a point where he's kind of priced even with Curry and Butler out. He's kind of priced pretty fairly. So I don't know if he's projecting all that great. I would say currently my favorites are going to be Maxey up top and then Pritchard and or Derek White. Probably prefers to play one of those guys, but I do think the matchup is so good and the price is pretty solid on those guys with Jaylen Brown that you can play both, but probably preferring just one of them. And then Emmanuel Quickly, probably my favorites. And then Anthony Simons as well down there at 4.7, probably my favorite value option. The 1 or 2 punt options I would throw out there, Ben Saraf for the Nets. 21 minutes is where we have him projected. He's been really good on a permanent basis from a stats perspective. He hasn't really turned in a ton of good performances DFS-wise, but again, we also haven't really seen him have a ton of opportunity. I think this could be arguably his best spot, minutes and usage-wise, so I'll throw him out there as well as maybe a punt option.
Okay, and did you mention how much Maxey you're getting?
I don't have a current run on Maxey right now, but it's probably going to be pretty similar to where the field is. I think that there are a couple different things that you can do with spend ups on the slate. I mean, he is very clearly the top option, but there are a few guys in that like 8.5 to 9.5K range that I think make some sense as well. So Maxey definitely the best spend up option amongst these guards and from like a raw point perspective, but I do think that you can still get a little bit different. So I'll probably just be pretty similar to where the field is in that 25 to 30% range.
Okay, very good. Let's go to shooting guard. Kyle, what are you doing there?
Yeah, I love Austin Reeves in the spot. I know his assist numbers have been way down since LeBron returned, but I think with Luka, we'll be able to see him kind of slot into that role, and he's going to play as like the main facilitator with LeBron off the floor as well. So like Reeves quite a bit in the spot against Toronto. Also like Anthony Edwards quite a bit, but he's one of those guys that I think might be getting a touch overlooked on this slate because people are kind of going to Maxey above him or Reeves or a couple other options a little bit below. So I think Edwards is kind of in that soft spot ownership-wise. So I do like him in tournaments quite a bit as well. Already talked about all these Boston guys, White and Simons you can play at shooting guard. Tyrese Martin down here at 4.5 on DraftKings. 4.2 on DraftKings. You can play him as a value option. He's probably my favorite value option. And then kind of a long shot here because it's hard to expect any sort of significant minutes from anybody on Golden State, but Buddy Hield at 4.3 I do like. And then one of my favorite tournament plays on the board is Keyshawn George at 6.7, especially if you're playing a number of Boston guys. I think adding a guy on the Washington side as a bring back makes sense. And George has some nice rates. I think he actually has triple-double upside in this spot with Sarr out, as well as a couple other guys for Washington sitting due to injury. So I like Keyshawn George quite a bit.
Okay, very good. Chop, we're just going to gloss right over the comment in the the YouTube pickings. So let's talk. By the way, we mentioned one of your boys, Buddy Hyde. Buddy Hyde, possibility tonight. You in?
I didn't think I was going to mention him, but I definitely was going to bring up Buddy Hyde just because of the injuries. And they're going to be looking for somebody to shoot some 3-pointers for him tonight. And he's the most adequate guy to fill that role. And Philadelphia, who's not particularly adept on defense either, I don't believe. So, Buddy Hyde's definitely in there. Austin Reed, he mentioned pretty much. I don't have very much, nothing different, but I'll just go over some of the. Austin Reeves, the best player on the slate. Like, I think he's the best guy on the slate. So you got to get to him. Some carryover there with White and Simons. Trey Murphy, a guy I do like. I don't think I'm gonna get to him on DraftKings, but I do like it. He mentioned Keyshawn George. Like that one too. I like him too. And Buddy Hyde. So I'll talk about some of these other guys on FanDuel because the prices are better on FanDuel for them. But those are the main guys at shooting guard I like on DraftKings.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go to small forward, Chop.
This is a very weak position to me. And Buddy Hyde was like really the one guy I really had highlighted here. This is what made it hard for me to build my lineup. I just couldn't. I wanted all these other guys. Couldn't find a small forward, and you have to have at least one of them. So I ended up on Jaden McDaniels. I think he's fine. He's adequate. He's not great, but you got to have a small forward here on DraftKings that I don't see a lot of them. And there's Buddy Hyde, but I'm not playing him on DraftKings. Sadiq Bey's fine. I think Kuminga is I don't know. His popularity is probably going to be there with the injuries now, but I think the 6,500. Another guy I was going to highlight on FanDuel because the 65 on DraftKings is a bit more than I really want to spend on him. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure about him, so wasn't going to go there. But Sam Hauser, like I could list several Boston guys, and I'm going to list some more here in a little bit that I like even more than Hauser. But at a weak position, Sam Hauser he deserves some love at 3,900 too for a Boston team that should have a lot of open shots tonight.
Sure, I like it. Kyle, I want to bring you in here on small forward, but also I got a question from Alex. The people want to know who your boy is, Kyle. Like, do you have a guy in the NBA? Like, that's my boy. That's the guy. Anytime he's on the slate, I want to play him. He's my boy.
Man, that's a tough question. I feel like the list changes obviously every single day, but I feel like my boy this year has been probably Tyrese Maxey. He's been a guy that I'm always clicking. Probably helps because Joel Embiid's always taking every night off. But someone said Cade Cunningham. That's probably my boy from a Michigan standpoint, but I haven't played him a ton in DFS. So I guess, I think Maxey could be up there.
Okay. Lock it in. I just needed to know for future shows who your boy is. Anytime Maxey's on, I expect it. Let's go to small forward. We mentioned it ain't great. What are you doing?
Yeah, this has to be one of the worst positions that I can remember on a slate, and at least in the last few weeks. It's pretty bad. So I feel like that kind of opens up some things for us to do, get a little bit different. I think Sam Hauser is a guy who he projects pretty well across the industry. Matchup's obviously really good, expecting mid to high 20s in minutes for him. But if he's going to get popular, that's a pretty easy fade for me. I mean, he's not really a guy that benefits from the absence of Jaylen Brown because he's not going to soak up additional usage. And the minutes, Celtics are kind of similar to Washington or to the Warriors. They just want to play as many bodies as they can. So they could easily run out of 12, 13-man rotation. So if Hauser's not going to play, 32 minutes, he might not really have that productive of a game from a DFS perspective. So, because I'm not really counting on him being all that efficient per minute wise. So if he's popular, he'll be a fade for me. And I think that opens up some interesting tournament options. Buddy Hield, you can play over here at 4-3. He's probably going to be a guy that I'm pretty heavy on at the small forward position because I think he actually has some permanent upside. Again, not expecting a ton of minutes for him, but I think he can get it done on a permanent basis at a lower ownership. So I like him quite a bit. Jacoby Walters, a guy that I also am getting some. I think he's a good pivot off of Sam Hauser, $200 cheaper, expecting right around the same amount of minutes for him. Matchup's not as good, but still, if he's going to come with lower ownership, he's the guy that I'll have my eye on. And then a couple of these Utah guys, obviously mentioned the Filipowski news, Kyle Anderson, Bryce Sensabaugh. I actually bet under 10.5 points earlier for Bryce Sensabaugh before the Nurkic news. I think he's still probably going to be in that same minute range. He's a guy that can certainly fill it up at times, but the minutes are so volatile for all these Utah guys. So you have to kind of understand that if you're playing one of these cheap guys for Utah, they could play 6 or 7 minutes, but they could also, go out there and play 17, 18, 19 minutes for Anderson and Sensabaugh. So I think both those guys are at least going to be in the pool for me, but certainly volatile options.
So I had some interest in Ace Bailey, and now I'm a little scared because you mentioned minute volatility. Does he fall into that, and is he playable?
He's not, maybe some volatility, but not nearly as much as these bench guys. The latter half of the rotation is where it really gets volatile, because you could easily have a game where Cody Williams pops for 17 or 18 minutes, taking away time from Sensabaugh. Same thing for a guy like Walter Clayton. So that's where it gets really dicey. Bailey, I feel pretty good about. He'll probably play 26 to 28, maybe 29 minutes. Great matchup here against Brooklyn. So Bailey, I think, is one of the more consistent options from a minute perspective. So yeah, he's certainly a guy that is in the pool as well.
Okay, yeah, I may end up landing there. Let's go to power forward, Kyle. What do you like?
Yeah, my guy tonight's going to be Danny Wolf here at 3.9. Love this spot for him. He's been up and down in the G League and between the G League and the NBA all year, but they've kept him up the past week and a half or so. He's played 24 plus minutes in 2 of his last 3 games. He's taking a lot of threes as well. He's taking 16 threes in that time, and he's actually made 8 of them. So he's shooting 50% from 3. Can't really expect that kind of efficiency, but he can fill it up. He can get rebounds. He can get assists, some stocks as well. I love him tonight. 24 minutes is where we have him projected. I think he actually has upside for a few more, especially if this game can go small, or if Claxton gets into foul trouble. I think there's some paths to more minutes for him here. Hoosiers is in the chat saying he is a Michigan guy. Yes, I can't confirm that, but that is not where the bias is coming in. I do like Wolf just on his own merit here, and with no Michael Porter Jr. or Cam Thomas, there's gonna be a lot of offensive stats being vacated here. So I think Wolf can soak up a lot of that there. Also like Mamu, Filipowski you mentioned. So those 3 guys, Wolf, Mamu, Filipowski, you can build a lot of these spots around those 3 guys, all under 5K.
Okay, very good, Chop. I got to confirm that this is not a homerism play. Can we play Wolf? Are you playing Wolf?
What's the Pulp Fiction thing with the wolf or something like that? I mean, he's a University of Michigan guy, but he is a Yale legend.
True.
He came from Yale, so yeah, he's good. Like he when he was in college, he could light it up, man. He did a lot of things. He could shoot 3-pointers. He can nice passer. So yeah, I absolutely will take a chance at 39 on Wolf. He is in my single lineup right now. So and I don't think that's changing. Some of these other power forward, Scotty Barnes against the Lakers, not particularly good on defense, especially with LeBron in there now. So, yeah, Scotty Barnes. I actually think LeBron could maybe, without Luka, this is his chance. I kind of wrote it up in the survey like, hey, man, he's kind of been a little bit on the struggle bus. This is not the same LeBron we're used to, but maybe it's just, him taking a step back, letting Luka do his thing with this team now. But now's his time. So I could definitely say he got a good price tag on him. Markkanen, like him a little bit more now without the Nurkic news. Randall's good. It's just an easy matchup for them. You have to wonder kind of like what Minnesota's upside is if they start blowing New Orleans out, but Randall should get a good piece of that. Filipowski was a guy I was not on, but with Nurkic ruled out, he is in play now. And the only other one I was going to mention, I could mention Noah Clowney. I was debating Noah Clowney. But Jordan Walsh, Boston, we're looking for somebody to come in. You just never know. Boston's going to put up some points. How are they going to get there? Walsh has been pretty solid. So, he's definitely in play.
Yeah. Man, I'm really conflicted on the LeBron thing. Like, it is his only chance. Like, this is it, really, to ever put up a big game. But his last game, he had 13 fantasy points. Like, he just – I don't know if he turns it on, if he can get it done. We'll see where we land. Let's go to Kyle. Is it Kyle for power forward or Chop for center? I got lost. I do that.
It's me for center.
Thank you.
And, Wolf is there. Filipowski's there. So those guys carry over. Derek Queen is here. I don't like the price tag on DraftKings, to be honest with you. I'm not getting there. Claxton is awesome. He's going to be in my lineup 6,600 against Utah. Love some Claxton. Yeah, I don't see the latest on Embiid, but at least earlier I had him highlighted in my player pool because the matchup Golden State is like they just don't have a center, man. They just can't. There's nothing they can do. They can give up a ton of rebounds. I think Embiid is in play at 75. Upside is limited because he's not the same guy he used to be, but it's a good matchup for him. So I think Embiid's in play if he plays, and we think he's going to play his normal allotment of minutes. Kieta for Boston, somebody's got to step up there. So Kieta and some of the other guys, Naz Reid, Rudy Gobert, they're all in play. I'm not necessarily jumping to play those guys because I want Claxton as the center here, and Danny Wolf is a center power forward. It kind of takes up those two spots for me, but those other guys are in play. But I don't know. Maybe Kyle likes them more.
Kyle, your thoughts there, center?
Yeah, I think this position is going to really come down to getting the Jazz starters. It's kind of a tricky situation because that game starts at 7:30 and obviously 7 o'clock lock. So we might get the starters after that 7 o'clock window. But if it sounds like Oscar Tshiebwe is going to be active for this game, and there's a chance that he starts. We've been kind of going back and forth in Slack. We're still going Filipowski as the projected starter for the Jazz, just because Oscar's he's been out for a while. He's been in the G League, so this is going to be his first game up in a while. So we went with the safer route of projections, projecting Filipowski to start. But there's a chance that Big O gets the start, and if he does, I mean, he's going to play probably 20 to 23 minutes and be a 3K guy who is over a 1 fantasy point per minute producer. So he would look quite good in that spot. You can play him even if he doesn't start because he's probably still going to play 15 to 17 minutes. So I think he looks really good here at 3K. So maybe it's one of those things where you put him in your lineup and then you maybe look for other ways to build if he's not starting. But that's just something that I wanted to note at the center position.
And then if Filipowski gets the start, you don't care. You're not playing him. It's just if he doesn't get the start, it's more interesting.
So for Filipowski, I think you can play him either way. I think you can play both these guys either way. But if Oscar starts, he's a smash. He's going to be probably
okay.
Yeah. If Oscar starts, you probably can't fade him. That's kind of where he'd for sure be the best cash game option on the board. He'd for sure be by far the best value on the board. There are other options that you can still play a few guys in that sub 5K range and kind of build around him if you wanted to. But again, if he starts, he's going to project for at least 20 minutes. And if he's going to be in that 20 plus projection at 3K, he's going to be a complete smash if he starts. But again, I have to get that news. Love the Claxton call. I still think both these Washington guys are in play as well. I do prefer some other Washington guys if you're looking for the run back strategy there with Boston, especially because all the guys that we talked about, Mamu, Filipowski, Danny Wolf, you can also play them at center, but you have a lot of flexibility at the position today at center.
Yeah. Okay. Very good, guys. We want to kick it over to FanDuel, and I want to make sure that I am hitting my promo read so I don't get in trouble. Missouri sports betting, that's a big thing. What was it, earlier this week? I think it went online. Make sure to check the link in the description to find the best promo codes when you're signing up for any sports books in Missouri. And then, of course, we got shot quality as well. Like if you are playing NBA DFS, and if you're in this chat and watching this show, you likely are. But you're looking at box scores to figure out, was this guy playing well? You're doing it wrong. You're already behind. Shot quality gives you the most predictive data in basketball. Breaks down every shot to show you what should have gone in, not just what did. And right now, you get a free 99 3-day trial just by headed to the link in the description. After that, it renews monthly for $39.99. Don't play blind, play smarter with shot quality. Let's kick it to FanDuel. And Chop, I want you to start because you mentioned that there were some pricing differences. And I think maybe even specifically at the point guard spot that you were a bit more interested in here. Maybe it wasn't point, but just in general on FanDuel, some dudes you were more interested in. Not point guard. Oh, you just went anybody on FanDuel or? No. Just I'll let you start point here and we'll work our way through.
Point guards are the same. Maxey, White, Pritchard, Quickly, Simons, the cream of the crop over there for me. Well, Simons, GPP cream of the crop. Keontae George is in play, and some of the other guys, they don't really interest me. But point guard's very similar on FanDuel as it is to DraftKings, so I don't have much difference there.
Yeah. All right. Kyle, anything you want to add there? Point on FanDuel?
Pretty similar for me. I would say maybe the biggest difference is just the gap between Pritchard and White. And Simons isn't as as cheap compared to those two. So I think Pritchard is just by far my favorite Boston option. But other than that, it's pretty similar. I think maybe a couple names we didn't mention on DraftKings can get into play, guys like Alvarado and Shed, just as 4-6 for Alvarado, 4K for Shed. But I don't think it's anything all that different. I think for the most part, it's a lot of the same key plays.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to shooting guard, Kyle.
Yep. Again, pretty much the same thing. The Boston guys carry over here. Austin Reeves is one of my favorite plays. He does project a little bit better on DraftKings than on FanDuel, just with the scoring there. You can actually somehow play Jordan Walsh at shooting guard, which is interesting. Keyshawn George, I like quite a bit on FanDuel still. And then I guess one name that I don't know if we touched on DraftKings, projects better on FanDuel due to price, is Terrence Mann at 4-1. Certainly like him more on FanDuel because of scoring, with stocks being worth more, but also that 4-1 price tag on FanDuel is pretty good.
Okay. Chop, your thoughts there at shooting guard on FanDuel?
Pretty much the same. The only thing I'm going to add is I'm going to mention on FanDuel, a couple of Minnesota Timberwolves players on FanDuel, because the price tags on several of them are just well below what they are on FanDuel relative to the salary cap. So Anthony Edwards at shooting guard is definitely one of them. He's just a little bit cheaper to play and roster on FanDuel than he is on DraftKings.
Yeah. Okay. Then let's go to small forward.
Yeah, there's a couple guys at this position that stand out on FanDuel more so. Brandon Ingram being one of them, better price tag on FanDuel than DraftKings, and I think he's already. And I wasn't even that doesn't even factor in the revenge spot here for Ingram against the former team, the Lakers. So I like that part of it. If I'm not a big fan of Kuminga right now, but if you were going to play him, you save $1,000, $5,500 on FanDuel, which equates to a few percentage points in the salary cap. So if you want to going to play him, you would play him on FanDuel as opposed to DraftKings. Rui is super cheap. Rui Hachimura, super cheap on FanDuel, $4,100 price tag. That one really stands out. And then the guys that we've already covered, the Reeves and Barnes and LeBrons of the world. But those four guys, Edwards, Ingram, Kuminga, and Hachimura at small forward, have a really good price tag. And obviously, thinking about what we did at DraftKings, this small forward over here is loaded compared to DraftKings.
Okay, interesting. Kyle, your thoughts, small forward on FanDuel?
Yeah, one thing real quick at shooting guard, sounds like Jameer Watkins is getting his first NBA start for Washington today. And yeah, that was just confirmed. So he's going to start. We have no information on him really. We've seen him play significant minutes. It looks like one time this year. He played 20 minutes, scored 15 FanDuel points. So 6.6 rebounds. He's probably going to project for low 20s minutes once I finish the update. But he is min price on FanDuel, and I'm assuming min price on DraftKings as well. So that is something that maybe we can touch on once projections rerun.
Okay. Yeah. A. Dean in the chat. Who TF is Watkins for Washington? And I feel like everyone is kind of trying to figure that out. Chop real quick. Any interest in this random guy starting now?
No, not really. I mean, if it was a different slate, maybe you could interest me in a min price guy. I don't think there was nothing about him that I remember in college that stands out. I think he's I think he came from Florida State. So there was nothing about him that stands out. And if we got so many options that are cheap tonight with the Boston guys and the Lakers being down, Luka. I don't know. You could, I guess, in GPPs take a shot at it, but just tonight is not the night I would want to play him.
There's also not a ton. By the way, Joel Embiid available Thursday. There's also just not a ton of spend up stuff to be digging in the dumpster for. It's not like I'm getting a Jokic for playing Watkins. But as I am who I am, you better believe I'm playing. He's 3K and he's starting. I'm playing him, but I don't like it. I don't know why, but I'm doing it. Let's see. Kyle, I think we were at small forward. Maybe you finished and you were bringing us to power forward.
Yeah. So small forward, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. I will say a couple of weird position things, like FanDuel gave Danny Wolf small forward position eligibility, which is very weird. But I mean, you have Rui here at 4-1, who is a little bit better minutes in per minute production wise with no Luka. Terrence Mann carries over, Sam Hauser, a lot of the same names. But for power forward, again, you got Danny Wolf here, Filipowski, Noah Clowney, who I think I kind of looked over on DraftKings. I still like Noah Clowney, but I think, my love for Danny Wolf tonight is kind of leaving me in the cold a little bit on Clowney, which I'm a little bit afraid of because Clowney certainly, you feel better about his minutes and his per minute production. You can definitely play both of those guys together as well. And then for the spend up options, Scotty Barnes, I still like. Again, his numbers with no Pirtle and no RJ Barrett look really good. So he's another guy who I haven't really touched on yet, but if you want to get a little bit different with some of these mid-tier guys, and if you are using a guy like Watkins, you can play like 4 or 5 of these 8 to 9K guys. So Scotty Barnes would certainly be in the pool for me there.
Yeah. Okay. Was that power forward as well?
Yeah.
Those guys. Yeah. All right. Chop, your thoughts at power forward, please.
Very similar names and similar everything to what's already being said. The only other guy I would throw in addition to all that, is the Julius Randle, who gets a better price tag on FanDuel than DraftKings, $7,900 over here. So otherwise, it's everybody that we've already mentioned.
Yeah. Okay. Then we get to go to center, Chop.
Kieta, good price tag on FanDuel. Just a fairly solid play regardless in this matchup, but a little bit better on FanDuel, I think. Claxton, Embiid, good. Queen projects fine. I'm gonna pass on that one, and then Aiden, 6,300, not a bad price tag on FanDuel. So Gobert's decent, and then all the other guys you want to fill in, but I pretty much limited my desire to play a center over here to Kieta, Claxton, and maybe a GPP shot on Embiid.
Okay. Kyle?
Yep, pretty much similar names and similar ideas with Utah news there. Getting the starters for Utah is going to be important. But yeah, a lot of the same names. Keita, I think I like a little bit more on FanDuel than DraftKings. Filipowski, you can play at power forward center. And then you have Claxton, who's a little bit more expensive on FanDuel, but again, still looks pretty good. And then Mamu are guys I like tonight.
Yeah. Very good. Guys, we're going to do a little tiers. We, of course, want to answer all your questions. We'll get to those in a bit. But first, sometimes we stack up games, right? It's a thing that we do. It's not quite as important as it is in baseball. But in the NBA, you find some pace games. You find some matchup issues. You might like some dudes out. And we stack them up. So we're going to rank these teams or these games in terms of best to worst sports to watch on TV. NBA, NFL, NHL, MLB, bit of a snooze fest. NASCAR, I don't even know. I don't even understand why. I don't even get it with respect to Stevie. I don't understand it. First off, Kyle, do you have any massive issues with my list?
I mean, it's tough to say. I think MLB has gotten more watchable since the shot clock stuff or the pitch clock. But, NHL is also very, very intriguing. I don't watch NHL much because it's during NBA season. So obviously NBA gets the priority there. So maybe I'll say MLB over NHL because of the season. But other than that, no real issue. Chop,
you want to fight me over it, or do you just still want to fight Kyle over the football game?
I'll fight you both. I don't care. But
2-on-1.
I mean, to each his own. I'm not gonna.
That's fair.
Well, poo-poo your list. But for me personally, NFL's number one.
Yeah,
and it's pretty easy. Like, I used to really like the NBA until I caught on to the fact that typically you don't even have to watch the NBA until the fourth quarter. Like,
that is true.
Who cares if this team's out to a 7-point lead in the second quarter? The other team's going to make a run. Like, I don't, and if they don't make a run, then it's over with by halftime anyway. So, the NBA's kind of dropped down, but I'll still put it at number 2. Baseball, I do like baseball, man. I do like baseball quite a bit. I'd probably put baseball at number 2. When you're watching MLB playoffs and you have a real rooting interest, like in a team, it is tough. It is a tough watch, man, because it's like you're hanging. Like, one pitch in the fourth inning could actually decide the game. 2 guys get on, and you're facing you're facing Scooble. Like, that's some intensity right there. And the NHL, I've just never been a fan of. And NASCAR, oh buddy, no thank you.
Yeah,
I'm watching that, man.
Yeah, no, I don't. That one I don't understand at all. All fair. I've lost. NFL used to be number one for me, but I've just lost it in the more I watch, the more I'm like, do they ever actually play? Or are they just the clock's never moving? It's so slow, and there's all these damn injuries. I don't know. NBA is just my thing. It's what I love. So sticking it at number one. Either way, what we're here to do is rank the teams that we could stack. So we're not just ranking individual teams, but we're ranking the entirety of the game as to where they belong. Kyle, you get first crack at this. First game is Warriors 76ers. Where does this rank as far as how many pieces you want from that game?
I think it's, getting kind of carried by some of the value that you have on the Warriors as potential options. But again, they're going to play so many guys. They've just shown all year that they want to play, 11 to 12 guys. So the value there is fine, but it's also not super exciting. You do have Maxey on the slate as the top projected spend up. I'll put them in the NHL tier. Can maybe argue NFL tier, but I find it hard pressed to get them too much higher just because the Warriors I don't think are all that exciting because of the minutes there, and then Warriors there with Embiid back.
Okay, very good. Chop, you get the next game. It's Celtics Wizards. Where does this one stand for you? And would you fight or move the NFL tier for the Golden State 76ers game?
No, I'm not. I wouldn't. I mean, I don't have much interest in it, but I'm not going to fight over it. The Boston. I mean, because I could see some pieces, like he said, being with Curry and Jimmy Butler out. Boston, Washington, much better game to me. I'm actually debating now if it should go in the top tier or not. But you got your value, and you got value on one side, and that very same side, you get the best matchup in the NBA. So it's gonna there's a lot going on there. There's gonna you're gonna have to hopefully hit on the minutes here. Who's gonna get them? But clearly, Boston is an incredibly stackable team. And then on the flip side, you got guys on Washington you can run it back with. So I'll put it up top. Put it in the top. Yeah. Why not?
There we go. All right, Kyle, you're up next. Brings us to Jazz Nets. I'm finding myself with a lot of this game. I guess it's got a nice total. A lot of these games do. I don't know. Where does this one rank?
Yeah, I think it'd be hard pressed to rattle the Danny Wolf drum as loud as I have and not put them in the top tier. So I'll go with them in the NBA tier again. As high as I am on Wolf, there's plenty of other good plays. Claxton, Clowney, even Demeen here at 5-4 on DraftKings. I think he's also in play. I mentioned Man on FanDuel, so I like this one quite a bit. And then the Jazz, we have a couple of really solid plays and could even get better if we get Oscar starting at the 5. So I like this game quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Chop, you get the next game. It's Lakers Raptors. Where are you ranking that?
And it's a pretty darn good game in general it's going to be near the top. I don't want to overload the top category, so I'll put them in tier 2 there. But you have with the Luka out, you have the best player on the slate, Austin Reeves. You've got other guys on this team who are good GPP options, the LeBron Jameses of the world and all the other accessories on that team. Toronto, ton of guys you can run it back with. Brandon Ingram's a great play especially on FanDuel, but just in general in a revenge spot. Scotty Barnes is really good right now, and Quickly is a guy who will absolutely make my lineup. So I think it's a really good game. I just don't want to overload. I would probably put the Lakers, Toronto up top, and I'd move my Boston, Washington down a notch if I could go back and do it all over. But I don't want to make the producer do too much work. It's,
I think we put him in the top. We just join it. We just have a little top heavy. Chop, you like him a little top heavy.
I prefer a little bottom heavy, but we can live with the top heavy if we have to.
There's nothing wrong with it. Thanks for that. Last up, Kyle, you got T-Wolves Pelicans. What are we doing there?
Yeah, we at least I haven't really talked about this game too highly. There are a couple of decent plays. I think the Minnesota side is going to be a little bit owned, so I think they're probably going to be a mid-tier team for me. But I think NHL put this game there. I think that, they're fine, but I think I like all the other games more.
Yeah, and interesting that this is actually the highest total on the slate.
Yeah,
but if you don't have the value and the injuries, then it doesn't really matter. You Got to fit in the DFS lineups for it to count. Very good, gentlemen. We have 16 minutes left until we hit lock.
We just got news that Sun God's playing tonight. Chop, you sweating over there or what?
They need him. They have to have him. If they didn't have him, they might have got rolled tonight. He's the key, man. So it'll make it a real good game now.
Yeah. Yep. Agreed.
So to be clear, Chop, you're the Cowboys fan. Kyle, you're a Lions fan. Is that?
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Just making sure I know what's
Did
going on.
that just
here.
ruin all of our Tesla and everyone else plays now?
Well,
It
it says he will play. We don't know how healthy he really is. So he may be a decoy, which is good enough to help the offense, but you still may see. I mean, for them, if they're going to win this game, honestly, it's going to have to be Jahmyr Gibbs running outside the tackles anyway. I don't think it hurts too much. He's just at the very least a really good decoy.
Yeah, I will say that was my initial thought as well. But then I saw a video of him running. He looks pretty good. He looks pretty healthy out there. So I don't know. Maybe the drugs are working for him. Maybe the painkillers are souping him up.
Okay. By the way, I side Chop on this. Cowboys are going to win this game, and they're going to put up like 35, 38 points in the process. So just prepare yourself, Kyle. It could get ugly. Cowboys win it big tonight in Detroit.
Tell you what I don't like. I don't like that, like, all week long, everybody, including Roth just now, is just Cowboys.
That's never good.
In the NFL, this is a tale as old as time in the NFL. One team's getting all the talk one week, and the other team's, down and being kicked while they're down.
And that just makes them angry.
They're at home, and they're a playoff team, and they're fighting for their life too. And they're coming off a loss. The Lions. There's a reason why they're the favorite in this game. So that's a little scary right there. I don't like that aspect of it, but we'll see how it plays out.
Okay. Yeah, Lions 13-0 after a loss since I think the middle of 2022, and they're 13-0 against the spread as well. For anybody considering any wagers, I would agree though. I think I'm nervous about the defense holding up against that Dallas offense though.
Producer Steve says I got the Lions money line and the Cowboys at plus 7.5. I don't know. I don't do the sports betting. Yeah, good. All right. I don't know what that means. I do want to point out Kevin in the chat says, by the way, Roth was also super confident in Giants over Patriots. That is true. I was pretty confident in that, and that one did not go great. I will say that. Lost a little money on that one. Very good. We got some time for some questions. Pulling up the Discord, see if we've got a whole lot going on there. Actually, we kind of do. Kyle, I'm going to start with you. D-Rock says DKGPP, Keontae George and White, or Pritchard and Ingram?
I'll take the Pritchard side.
Okay. Chop, over to you. FanDuel Cash, Barnes and Filipowski, or Clowney James?
For cash, that's the big, deal. It's going to be Barnes and Filipowski for cash. If it was GPP, I'd go on the other side. But for cash, stay safe.
Yeah. To be clear, producer Steve, I don't have sports betting apps because I live in Texas. But now you've got like Kalshi and all that, so yes. I can do the predictive.
It's the same thing. Like I'm going through the same thing, Rod. I've got like 4 things downloaded now where you can basically bet. I don't even understand how this is all legal, but
it makes no sense.
Yeah. So
it makes no sense, but I don't understand what I'm doing. Like, I've done the dumbest shit where I'm like trying to cover it in case I lose, and then somehow I lose both bets, and I'm like, I just don't know what the hell I'm doing here. It's because you can live bet. I'm overthinking it. I need to just make a bet and stand back and not try to do it perfect, because man, I am a shitty sports bettor because I've never had access to do it. So I don't understand the nuance of it is really what's killing me. Okay, more questions. Sorry. Jameer Watkins, right? That's the 3K guy.
Correct.
Where do we land on that? And are you playing him?
So ended up settling on him at 20.5 minutes, and that gives us about 17 DK, 17.2 DK, 16.9 FanDuel projection. I think he's fine. I wouldn't bank on him playing big minutes. I will say there's probably a range of outcomes that for minutes that he probably spans from 18 to 26 minutes. They just have a lot of guys here as well. There's a lot of wings that they can play to remove him from the rotation as well. So if you get to him, I think it's fine, but I don't like Chop alluded to earlier. I don't think you necessarily need to risk it there. But if you're looking for a tournament play, he certainly fits the bill because no one's going to get to him. No one even knows who he is. So I think you can make a case for him in tournaments.
Okay. Kyle, right back to you. DK GPP, Rui McDaniels or Anderson Bay?
I think the first side is safer, so I'll take the first side.
Okay. Chop, a couple questions headed your way. This one from Jay Sams, FanDuel GPP. You think it's okay to play Simons along with the PP? Oh, Peyton Pritchard.
Oh, man.
And White. And are there any Celtics you wouldn't play together? So is it okay to play Simons along with the PP and White and any Celtics you wouldn't play together?
Yeah, man. I don't mind the Simons, White, Pritchard together. That's fine. I don't think it's in Washington, so probably not a big blowout. You wouldn't think so. I'm not sure, man. Maybe just I would cap it at like 3 of those types of players, those outside shooters, those guard archetypes. I'd cap it at 3 of them, but I'd probably be cool with playing 4 Celtics in general together if you landed on 4 of them. I don't hate that. That's just a great matchup for them and without Jaylen Brown. So yeah, I don't maybe cap it at 3 guards if you can, but they could all 2 of them could get hot from the 3-point range against Washington. They stink on defense.
Yeah. Okay. Right back to you, Chop. This is from Test. Your favorite play 4-5 on DK in the util, but it can't be from Boston and it can't be Wolf. This is a single.
Oh man.
Can't
be Wolf.
DK tournament.
Oh man, DK tournament. So there's 2 guys I would tell you. One is I'm probably going to play Jordan Walsh. So that's probably a guy I would recommend, but he's very close to me. I was very close to taking Mamachvili from Toronto. He projects better, but I'm going to go with Jordan Walsh because of all the things I just mentioned about Boston. I really like them more.
Okay, very good. A few more questions here. FanDuel GPP, Kyle, for you. Lowest price center that has upside tonight?
You said on FanDuel?
Yes, FanDuel GPP.
Yeah, I mean, that would be Oscar. Even if he doesn't start, he still has upside there.
Toshibwe, was that it?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, very good. Kyle, Simons or Igor, FanDuel GPP?
Simons.
Okay. Sean's got a question for us, Chop. He says, hey, Chop and Roth, I grew up in Sugarland, kind of our hood. Is Clyde Drexler's barbecue joint still around?
Man, I haven't lived in Houston or near Houston in freaking 20 years, brother.
Oh.
I don't know. I'm in San Antonio now. Yeah. But I mean, Clyde, I don't know if it's still around, but Houston, you don't have to go very far to find a good barbecue joint, man. They're all over the place anyway.
Yeah. That is a fact. Chop, Hauser and Mamu or Simons and Slow-Mo, DK single entry.
What was the first one? Hauser and
Mamu. Hauser, Mamu, or Simon Slow-Mo.
Simons. I'm not a big Slow-Mo fan, but definitely Simons I think is worth it tonight. I think there's big upside with him.
Kyle, I'm seeing you might have a ladder. Is this for NBA or is this for the NFL game tonight?
It is for NBA.
Okay. So hold off on it.
Okay.
If everybody watching right now hits the thumbs up, that's all. You're watching right now. You want a good bet from a legitimately very good sports bettor. We got a ladder for you. I like its chances already. Just hit the thumbs up. It's right there. Just take a moment. Take a second.
I mean, Kyle Murray's ladder plays are documented to at least break even 96% of the time.
96%. Wow.
Documented.
I didn't know that. And then you got upside. You know,
You
you
got
could
upside.
hit every rung. Hit every rung on that ladder. Hashtag Chop Fact. Got a few questions in the YouTube, and then Chop will drop that in Kyle will drop that in like 2-3 minutes, 1-2 minutes as people start hitting that thumbs up. FanDuel tournament, Chop. Kaishan George or Sadiq Bey? It's from We Major in the YouTube.
George.
Okay. Kyle, your 2 favorite DK GPP value plays?
Still like Danny Wolf, even though he's probably gonna be pretty popular. And then I'm going with Oscar, even though I think there's still some chance he doesn't start. Even if he doesn't start, I still think he's good enough to pay off the price there. So I'll go with Wolf and Oscar.
Okay, very good. Kyle, back to you here. Nathan says, who would you take of White? He says quietly, which I guess is probably Quetta, or Reeves. Or maybe that's Quickly. That's probably Quickly. White, Quickly, or Reeves.
Yeah, if salary doesn't matter, I'm going with Reeves. I mean, either way, I'm going Reeves.
Yeah. Okay. Chop. Any Ferguson tonight? This is now flipped back to some foosball.
Oof. I don't have any. I think I actually did play him because I went with a really weird build on DraftKings for my single entry. So I ended up taking him, and it was between him and Flournoy as a Dallas pass catcher that I wanted in there with CD Lamb. So I ended up with some Ferguson, but not saying I'm like super comfortable with it. But you just never know.
I don't know. Early DFS this season, I was playing that guy every time. He was getting like 15 targets a game. It felt like. I don't know if that's still happening, but I want to play him. Kyle, drop the ladder before the ladder match between you and Chop.
Yeah, I'm going to a guy who I think I've said his name a couple times on the show, Danny Wolf. No surprise, but I'm taking him on the 3-pointers. 2 plus 3s was plus money. I haven't projected for over 2 3s, so that as the baseline prop is good. I like it all the way up to 5 3s. Had this one at plus 1900 on FanDuel at 5. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Last game without Michael Porter Jr., he played 30 minutes and he hit 5 3s. So same scenario here for him in this spot. I hit a Brooklyn 3-point ladder last week with Demeen when he hit 5 3s. So I like it again in this spot. Over the last 3 games, he's, like I said, attempted 16 threes, made 8 of them. Not going to expect that kind of efficiency, but if he takes 7, 8, 9 threes here and he hits 3, 4, 5 of them, a good chance to pay off this ladder here.
I mean, how good is that? Do you feel guilty if you didn't hit the thumbs up and you just heard that? Because you should. Because that was worthy of the thumbs up. We've got 407,000 people watching and only 72 likes. The show's not going to happen tomorrow, Steve says. If we don't get to 100, make sure you hit that thumbs up. I love hearing the bets, and I love getting the analysis behind them. Like, that makes me want to put some bets down. That was really good stuff. A few more questions coming in here. Over under minutes for Embiid. Chop, you got a thought on Embiid minutes?
I mean, you're just never going to get very many of them. I think depending on how he feels tonight, if you get 30, man, you're feeling good about that. Really good. But, yeah, I would put the over-under at 27.5.
Okay. Enfanant says, Chop, you want in FanDuel Cash, Barnes or Randall?
Barnes.
Cleveland Picker, Kyle. Who's got the better night, Pods or Moses Modi? Moses. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Pods there.
Okay. Let's see. Another one for you, Kyle. Markkanen and Mamu or Gobert and Claxton?
Give me the Markkanen side. I don't love Gobert, but it's mainly because of opportunity cost. I think there's a lot of really good value options at center. So the Gobert play is not really on my radar, but he is pretty cheap. So just opportunity cost for me.
Yeah. Chop, any interest in Ant on DK Cash, or am I just trying to force it because I've got the salary to do it?
Cash, man, if you got the salary and you feel good about the other stuff, as long as you got Austin Reeves in there and you feel good about everything else, I don't see why not. He's going to project well. So, I mean, yeah, if you feel good about it, why not?
Yeah, okay. Chop, right back to you. Wolf and Claxton, or Ingram and the Big O?
Wolf and Claxton.
Okay. Very good. Important question from Lippy here: Skittles or Starburst? I have no dog in that fight. I'm not really if I want candy, I want like chocolate candy. But if you just want straight up sugar, Kyle, Skittles or Starburst?
Oh, that one's tough. I'm gonna go with Starburst.
Chop.
I am not a fruity candy guy. I do not like this stuff, so I don't have either.
Right. To me, it's just both things that are going to feel weird in my teeth, all sticky, all up in my shit. Not about it. Hey, do you think LeBron is a cash play tonight, Chop?
Oh man, the price tag is good. Cash is a little bit might be a stretch, like if there was some sort of a section between cash and GPP, like in the middle there, that would be LeBron. So I don't think he's a full-blown cash play, but it is a good price tag.
Yeah. Let's see. Would you fade Maxi Chop in a FanDuel GPP and spend up in other spots?
Absolutely.
Dumpster diving. Kyle, thoughts on Seth Curry? Oh, wow. I love this play.
It's too thin for me because, again, the minutes are just not going to be there. More likely than not, they have Melton coming back. He's on a limit, but again, you're going to see 12 guys play tonight for Golden State. So we have Curry for, I think, 8 minutes. I know we played 18 last game, but it's really tough to project him for even double-digit minutes tonight.
Yeah, okay. We basically hit the lock. We did have a few questions still coming in. Let me try to knock those out real fast so we can go watch some sports. DK GPP, Kyle, Quetta and Clowney, or Mamu and Draymond?
The Clowney side.
Chop, your favorite Boston value?
Jordan Walsh.
Potent Perspectives, which I love that username, says Pods or DiVincenzo, FanDuel.
If you're asking me, I'm going to always lean towards the guy who's not Podziemski, because I do not like that guy, but to each his own.
Fair. FanDuel single entry from Boney, Kyle, Mamu, or Filipowski?
Filipowski.
Okay, final question of the night. It is burrito or tacos. Which do you prefer? Tacos are so much more versatile, but burritos are so simple. It's just one. It's delicious. Sign me up for burrito. Chop, your thoughts?
So tacos are great, and burritos are good too. And I have to say that I did watch a lot of videos on how you roll a burrito properly, and I've done, and so we've been doing a lot of burritos lately. I have to say, man, I something about throwing all them ingredients in that burrito, rolling that sucker up, and then digging in and getting a bite of everything at one time. I'm gonna go burrito.
I really thought you were making a euphemism when you said you were watching videos of rolling up burritos, but you meant it. You really have the tuck and the folds and
absolutely
all of it. All right, Kyle, tacos or burrito? We've got 2 for burrito here.
Yeah, I'm gonna be in the minority here. I'm actually taking tacos. I like, you mentioned the versatility. I like that you can have like 2 or 3 tacos and they don't have to be the same thing. You can mix it up. Burritos are good. You can't really lose, but I'm gonna go with tacos there.
And the tacos also, you can go with the flour or corn. And good corn, like as long as they're cooked, don't give me the random floppy corn. God, I hate that. You get a taco and it's floppy corn.
So I also want to point out just a small little hack that I do. Now, not for everybody, but what I do is if I am doing like a crispy taco, I take, I like the meat, cheese, lettuce, tomato, sour. I like all of it, right? In my taco. I'll take that all in a bowl and mix it up and then stuff the taco shell so that every bite I take, I'm getting a little bit of, instead of like that top bite where I'm just getting lettuce and that bottom bite.
Top bite is all guac. Bottom bite is all meat.
So I mix everything up together. It's just my little thing, but so I get a little everything in every bite.
Man, okay. This is good. This is advanced taco making. I bet Chop has YouTubed how to roll something else as well. The Jamaican stuffy fluffy. Long ago. All right, let's clear on out of here for Kyle and for Chop. Good luck to both of you, but especially to Chop because I want the Cowboys to win. For Kyle and for Chop and for our wonderful production crew, always working hard behind the scenes, guys. We appreciate you. We love you, and we will catch you tomorrow. You have been crushed.